might be a good frequency. Her frequency is so different. It's like you're looking for that ooh. We gotta start back making oohs. There's gotta be a way. While I'm in this situation, it's gotta be a way for Magic to have been so strong, even stronger back in the day. It had to have been an easy way to alleviate, to get rid of magic, any magic. Now I can pretty much guess it's probably from music. Music. Probably a ooh. You know, you gotta look for it though. I just know she got a different frequency though. But probably a ooh. We need to bring back oohs. You take a ooh and you put it on the spine. You manipulate the spine with the ooh. Spine does a lot. Spine actually the spine actually plays a major role in the ribbon of the tool of the forest of a man. You find that out through meditation as well. I tell you, meditation talk to you. I think it activates your general, if you're a general or something, I think it activates parts of your body. Like, my tool, my forest can tell me before I even make contact with somebody if they got an issue. And tell me what kind of issue it is. Whether or not I can deal with it or not. Or even heal it. Supposedly. I don't know. I never really went all the way there to it. But I know it done got me out of a lot. But I didn't know what it was. I do now though. They call they call this, in order, it's like, I was saying, you gotta bury some stuff. And that was the approach they took in the past, but it still came back to surface. So it's best to learn. It had to have been an easy way to alleviate a lot of stuff, no matter what it was. And it had to have been free. It had to have been something easy. And you go talk to a lot of people who do, if you listen to a lot of people who probably know a lot about magic or dealing with magic, and hopefully you're not, but if you do, you just go online and hear that. But you can just tell that a lot of people can do it, but they can't reverse it. And I always used to tell folk when I did run across people, if you can't reverse it, you ain't no good anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they always laugh and say, who would want to reverse it? Something like that. But somebody hit me in my face. But they call it, these tests, you wouldn't have a name for it. I got a name for it to prove to y'all, to the world out there, that it's real. They call it choking, rolling tuck test. We just gotta figure out how, because they're gonna keep doing it. We need to get an antidote for it to the point where there's so many cures to it, even Walmart can sell it. But they're gonna keep doing it. But I don't know if that's possible though. Because it's more spiritual. It's more spiritual than anything. This is when they do that low vibrational magic. You gotta get rid of it. You know, I was trying to figure out why they would even do stuff like this. Back in my day, and people were like, you gotta get the money. You know, that's sad though. It's like, you can tell there ain't no jobs out here. And everybody knows this stuff is going on. They be like, we have to sacrifice somebody to get a little money. No, you don't. If you got a little land, if you grow your food, it costs hundreds of dollars to go to the grocery store. It costs you a few dollars to go to a seed. I forgot what they call them place that sell flowers and seeds and plant seeds and stuff. They need to start building stores like that. That sell. They used to have them around here. I don't see them no more. That sell plant seeds. Like you can go buy cilantro. You know, you can go buy garlic or whatever. You can go buy stuff like that. You can go buy all that watermelon, whatever. Cost you a few bucks. Plant it in your garden and give it time to plant. You're gonna like doing it because you're gonna realize this is taking up some good time. And when you planting in your garden, you're gonna learn about the female garden and the male forest just from dealing with an actual natural nature garden. And then you're gonna realize how things work. And you gotta have the right fertilizer. In other words, it gotta be the right forest with the right garden. I feel sorry for those people that's stealing all my stuff. You gotta have the right forest with the right garden. People gotta be careful out there. Like, in my situation, it put me in a position where I feel like I'm being preserved. And how did they do that? They took the finances I need. If I had the finances, the money that I was supposed to have, somebody swapped my network, swapped all my media, swapped all that shit, took everything from me. And that was probably part of the deal. So I ain't worried about it. It don't bother me. But if I had all that, you'll notice that I done rebuilt the inside of this house, planted gardens. I done been done did all that in 5 years. I know for a fact I've been done did that. Even I walked in this house, it'll look totally different on the outside won't match up with the inside. I know that for a fact. So, and I find joy in that. I find joy in doing stuff like that. So, that's probably why God put me in this situation. He knew y'all was throwing this magic. This magic been hurting people, destroying families, blah, you know, all kind of stuff, etc., etc. But it's like they ain't gonna stop. We gotta heal it. They won't stop. We gotta heal it to kill it. We gotta heal it to kill it. We gotta start back seeing fun and being natural. And they put me in they didn't do nothing. I'm in a position where I can't show you how to have fun being natural. Because I was supposed to be able to rebuild a house, do all this. Somebody even took that. So just looking at me meditate, of course, and preserving myself, whether I'm supposed to be doing it or not, preserving myself is helping me wait on my energy to return to me. So I won't be so dismantled by the time my energy comes back to me, and I can put that work in when my energy get back to me. How it was supposed to go, it was supposed to be the flame supposed to do her part, but on her side. She wasn't supposed to interfere with my life. And she was supposed to even actually help me. And the energy was supposed to been there, came back towards me, and we were gonna start helping each other. It wasn't no girlfriend, boyfriend stuff. We were gonna start helping each other. And she stayed over there in that little crazy ass life, like she can live and die with. You can't live and die with no life like that. It'll get to the point where you living a life like that and you can't wait to get out of it, because it's miserable. It's miserable. And when you growed up in it like me and her have, what do you want to do that for? But and when you growed up in it like we have, it's easy to see fun and natural stuff. So I can't force natural on everybody. But for me, it's straight. You can live with it, you know what I'm saying? You feel good going to sleep, you feel good waking up, you feel good, you know. It's other stuff that you can do, and it's other stuff you will do, and it's just as good, if not better, than what you used to do. But now you can sleep good at night, you know, comfortable. You ain't looking over your shoulder no more. You ain't worried about your health. You feel good, you look good, you know, you're doing better. That's why I said if I only had the change, I've been up and fixed my truck, took my truck to Lowe's or Home Depot, and I'd work on one room apiece. I tear this wall out, I tear the whole wall out, and I put a stud like, and I open the whole space up in this house. And you wouldn't know this house when you walked in. There would hardly be no walls. Outside of the restroom, I rebuild the whole restroom. But these houses got a lot of walls. You don't need all that wall space. I get rid of all the walls, tear out the bathroom, and open the walls up and put me a huge, nice bathroom in. And I do all that without the outside being done. Yeah. Just so I can have some peace and quiet. Because it's like when people don't notice what you're doing, they're going to out. For me, whatever they think about you is the most safest way. You know what I'm saying? So the most peaceful way. You know, they look on the outside, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing with himself. Look at him. Because you know you probably ain't going to be buying, you doing all that work. You ain't buying no clothes. You probably going to be looking rough most of the time. You might even get the beard and all that. And then finally somebody from the street walk into your house. And they say, my God, I know my boys used to do this, the plugs I used to deal with. They used to do this, they just didn't want to know. I learned it from them. I got it from them. And they used to be huge, huge plugs. Couldn't nobody catch them though, because they stayed in these crazy ass looking houses on the outside. You walk in the inside like walking into a mansion. Walls moving and everything. It's like, the boy put money in that stuff. So I was like, hey, I feel that. I feel that. So I'm definitely going to do it to this house when everybody get out my way. I ain't finna go around and talk about folks. That's boring. I'm finna fix all this and wherever the money been going to help people that say, we need to sacrifice because we got to get money. They got to go work, bro. I'm trying to teach y'all something, man. Look here, dog. You got candles. You got the sunlight. You got the moonlight. You got generators. You got a garden. You got a home that's paid off. What you need money for? People gotta start asking themselves that what you need all this money for. You might need a lover, not a lustful partner, but a lover. That would make more sense. Not a lustful partner, but a lover. That would make more sense. And then you'll be good to go. And the money you do got, like I say, you can go to Home Depot, you and your lover can work on y'all home together. And enjoy each other's time while you're working on each other, too. And working on the home, because you're going to argue. Them kind of arguments right there lead to happy sex. You arguing. You bought the wrong side wall. No, you bought the wrong side wall. I got the right side wall. I didn't measure no wall. You know what I'm saying? You bought the wrong panel. I ain't buy the wrong panel. You know? Something like that. Y'all just lame, bro. A lot of y'all lame. That's all. You gotta stop being lame. Alright, now you got a nice house. You can have a nice house. It don't matter. You got land. You got your food. You got a processing plant. You can go take $150, $250 to a processing plant. You can buy almost $1,000 worth of meat, probably. Well, at least $600 worth of meat. You got a deep freezer. Put that in the deep freezer. Put that in the deep freezer. Then you got your sides in the yard. Okay? You got the sun and you got the moonlight. You got some candles. And you got a generator just in case you need anything extra. And what do you need money for? I just alleviated light bills. Basically. Or you can just panel your house. You know? So many ways to bring everything down. It will depend on what you want to do with yourself. But I like to stay busy. I'm trying to understand why. I want to understand the biblical times. Because there wasn't that many rich people. And when you read anything, not just King James, anything of the ancient time, it was like, didn't nobody really care about no money. There were more people caring about wars or soldiers or something than money. They're like, didn't nobody really care about no money? Well, nobody, I'm going to go over here and get that money. I'm going to go here. Today it's all about money, bro. So what did they do so much different? They had to have a home to live in. They had to have this. They had to have that. I know other way, but I better not even think about saying it on here. That's the way you can do it. You can bypass everything. I'm saying we gotta go back to the Mormons, bro. I remember before they put me in a situation where I couldn't even order nothing, I was finna order some Gucci yarn. Some Louis Vuitton and Gucci yarn. And I was finna make my own clothes. You know, you might buy some Gucci yarn a hell of a lot cheaper than buying the actual clothes. And I was gonna buy some Louis Vuitton and Gucci yarn and make my own clothes. But I ain't got no time. So, but anyway, and you got a car, like, you got a real man, he like to work on cars like me. I love to work on cars. I stay on a car all day long, like I stay on that wall, music, whatever. I get tired of music in my wall. I got extracurricular activities that can last me to the day I die. You give me a car to work on, some tools, and you give me some music, a studio. You ain't gotta give me all that, but I'm saying, I got something to draw. I'm good, with or without somebody in my life. So you got a car, and your car need oil change, radiator change. You need a service. I do all that. The car new, you need a certain part. I do all that. You gotta do this. I ain't got no electric car. I really ain't planning on. You know, I ain't got nothing wrong against them, but even if I did have one, I do all that. You know what I'm saying? My advice to people building all that, you need to make it where people can always work on their stuff. You got to keep people busy, and you don't want to take all. But that's your plan, though. That's your plan. But that's a goofy plan. That's lame too. But anyway, I like to work on using my hands. So my lady say, and I always keep extra cars, 2 or 3 cars. Honey, my car doing this. Well, leave it with me, take my car. I work on your car. I ain't got no problem with all that. I ain't even gonna argue about it. It's gonna be something I wanna do. Now, one time though, my Ed White, and by this time, my Ed White, me and my Ed White were good business partner and friend, basically. Now, one time, they was always attacking us. Somebody cut the brake line. And she called me from work. She said, baby, I can't start the car. I can't start the car. I said, open the door. I said, open the door. She said, okay, the door open. I said, stick your foot out there. She was like, what? I was just playing. Shut the door, Craig. I said, slow it down real good. Open the door. I said, stick your foot out and try to slow it down. She said, what? Seriously? I said, no. Shut the door. And I told her, pump the brake, Crazy, and make the pressure of the air kick in. But some people just go ahead and die like that. But on the old school cars, even some of the new cars, you can still do that. You know, the air pumping the brake. I said, pump the brake, pump it real good, pump it real good. Because the brake was hitting the floor. I said, pump it, keep pumping. And then you'll feel pressure. And she felt the pressure. And she said, okay, I feel it now. I said, well, start the car. And I said, just take your time, or you want me to come and get you. She said, I think I had to go get her. I can't remember. I think I had to go get her. She stayed far away on this dark road. I think she was working with somebody named Munt. But I ain't gonna say no more. But anyway, like I said, people keep people out your life. Because when you got it going on like that, everybody go, my grandpa and my grandma didn't deal with nobody. They didn't deal with nobody. They kicked their kids out at 18. They didn't deal with nobody. They had a whole bunch of kids. They didn't deal with nobody. By the time that kid got 16, 18, they were gone. Bye. I know, because they did me like that. I stay with them all the time. You gotta go too. But anyway, I think that's when my grandparents realized I wasn't treated fair. Because everybody give you a chance, but somebody kept taking all my chance. Somebody was destiny's fault. My grandpa told me before he died, he said, watch such and such. There's something wrong with him. It's somebody in my family, an older person. He told me, but I'll keep it to myself. Cause if that person don't want to change, you want to keep living in a lie, you gonna go. You're gonna see when you cross over that you really should have made a better decision. Even when you cross over, I think God gonna ask you, and you still gonna think you done right, and you gonna talk to God itself, like God itself should let you in heaven. But it ain't gonna work that way. I saw that part. But anyway, that's all y'all gotta do. So now go back and listen to what I said, and you're gonna be like, man, he just alleviated money altogether. Like we just doing, I thought we were just doing it just because you could go ahead and buy something and say you time for making, creating, or working on it. That's why I won't never sell my truck. They make a lot of beautiful trucks now. Now, if I create a truck, it'll be stronger than my truck. But I will have to work with these people in designing this truck. They can design it now going off of what I say, but they just ain't got it like that, bro. It's something, you gotta have love for something like that. That truck gotta be able to rip a house out of the ground. And that truck will. That truck will pull this house out this ground right here. And the rear end will stay good. That's why I won't sell my truck. That truck's solid. That truck been sitting in that one spot this whole time. The tires ain't even went flat. I'm sure now that I say that, somebody gonna come and flatten the tires. But I'm saying, now that I'm saying it at this moment, y'all know how long that truck been sitting there. That truck still sitting stirred. That truck solid, boy. That truck solid. That truck got 2 turbos on it. That truck solid. That truck will run, bro. That truck on dry ground. That truck will do a 360 like a Mustang, like a V8, a V16 Mustang. That truck running, boy. That truck running, bro. That truck, I love my truck. But and it's me. You know, I work on my truck. But that little flame and these little gangs they got going on where they want to live like somebody else. And like I said, she who she is, that's what she's supposed to do. That's why all y'all following her, you think she me. I don't know what she gonna do about it. But the good thing is this. We filtered, me and her. It's gotta come back around. Or it could be worst case scenario. Like if you was to look at it in Revelation. Everybody ain't going to 8 billion people. Everybody ain't going to heaven. And you can pretty much guess that the vast majority of people is going to be on the dark side. So you're going to choose to go to to another place. You by choice. Like what Biggie Smalls said. When I die, I want to go to you got to just go listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people feel like that in the streets and stuff. They do. So you see you got two floats right here. Let's say one float going to heaven, one float going to hell. There's a lot of people jumping on this bandwagon, you know what I'm saying? So, and so much so that you can easily say out of 8 billion people, it might not be but 300,000 people by choice that go to heaven. If that many. So with that being said, let's say me and her just started this little filter process. And so far, everybody going to her and helping her. Well, that makes plenty of sense. There's 8 billion people in the world.